My beautiful friends, I'm so excited to share with you my recent trip to Paris. It's been an incredible first-time trip to France and a very long time coming. I have a lot of footage to show you, everything from streetwear to popular fashion on the streets of Paris. I've been asking you in a recent post what kind of video do you want me to make, and most of you were interested in more than just fashion. So to be fair, I've decided to split them into two videos. This one is all about the fashion, and part 2 will be about my first impressions of Paris. So here's what I will cover in this video. First, I'm going to talk about footwear, then legs or bottom coverage, tops, outerwear, head coverage, and lastly accessories. I will blend in everything as it took place, bringing you along this journey. I was thinking about you the entire time, so I wanted to bring that visual or real wear to you. First, footwear. Considering it's now winter and sub-0 degrees Celsius, the obvious choice was closed-toe shoes. So these were either white sneakers or combat boots. I was quite taken aback by the fact that I've seen so many white sneakers because they're low cut and expose the ankles. Usually in cold, muddy, and slushy weather, I would think that waterproof shoes that provide warmth, coverage, and dryness would be given priority. In addition to the low cut, I've seen an awful lot of low cut socks and bare ankles. So here I'm with, wool crew socks, which are long, and others are just casually wearing sexy socks. For sneakers, the most common brand across both genders was Adidas. I remember from back 15 years ago when I lived in Europe, Adidas was popular as well as Puma. Nike not so much, even though I know that in the States they are much more popular. I would say that Adidas or Puma, just to give you an idea of how popular they are, 2/3 of white sneakers I've seen were Adidas, and this is across, again, both genders. Now sneakers, the Veja for men and women, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So Veja was also very popular among the brands that I've seen, and you can recognize it by the two black lines that form the V. Of course, the brands offer other color combinations as well, but the black on white is the most famous one that I've seen. The first time I've heard of them in the media was a few years ago when the Duchess of Sussex and her husband went on a boat ride on their first tour, I believe. So at the time, Catherine, now Princess of Wales, had already worn them in public, and as you probably know, whatever she wears sells out. So this was around 5 years ago. I'm quite surprised to see a trend last this long. I've also seen quite a few low-cut booties that stop at the ankles. These were usually paired with black jeans to create that elongated legs effect. And plugging in the video I recently made on the long legs effect, if you haven't seen it yet, here it is to check out after. Combat boots. This is a huge trend going on right now. These are the no-heel, taller shaft that cover the ankles about halfway to mid-shaft. If you're familiar with the Martens combat boots that have been, they have the label tongue sticking out in the back. I remember them being trendy about 2 years ago. All the celebrities were seen wearing these masculine shapes. They are continuing with hosiery, with long socks that are taller than the boots and frame the boots at the top. Now the socks can blend in with the black or even seen it with the white, to contrast and clearly see where the boots end. Continuing with combat boots, white boots are also popular. The same masculine style but in complete winter white, which I thought would get dirty easily. That's why I don't own a pair yet, but just goes to show how wrong we can be. Every single pair that I've seen on the street were pure white, not dirty, and they were worn. So similar to this style was a platform version with chunky heels, which provides more stability and is slightly more slender and feminine compared to the combat style. I particularly like the neutral color choices here, light beige and camel tones. Even more, the knee-length boots that are not only offering more height, but are also elongating the legs worn with skirts. And lastly, the knee-length boots worn with black tights were a popular choice for women. even in freezing temperatures. Which brings me to my next point, legs. Let's talk about what Parisian women wear to cover their legs. Next, bottoms. So tights, ladies and gentlemen, hosiery, pantyhose, sweater knitted tights, pattern tights, colorful tights, thin tights, sheer tights, black tights, every possible combination you can think of. And I could not believe my eyes how popular they are. I felt like I belonged. I haven't seen fishnets, so don't think they were cheaply made, but rather stylish chevron or flower design patterns. To my surprise, they weren't the thick, opaque black tights that I usually wear in winter. No, they were the thin 30-10 and lighter and with partial holes in them. Yes, and combat boots, lots and lots of skirts everywhere. Even though they maintained the black and dark color combinations for the winter months, the skirts were there to contrast with the gray, so sometimes colorful pop of color. Well done, ladies. A more elevated outfit would be a feminine almond-shaped knee-high boots with sheer hosiery, skirt, and a peacock or wool coat. I've seen this quite often, but we'll get to the coat soon. Leather is also a big trend. I didn't ask, but it seemed like full leather leggings with, you guessed it, combat boots. So many outfits with this combination. I've also seen a more relaxed fit, the leather pants that were straight and looser, not cargo. I think I've only seen 2 cargo pants the entire time, and I mention this because we're seeing it as a very popular trend. Jeans. The majority were skinny jeans, and when I say majority, I have not seen these many skinny jeans since they came in fashion a few years ago. Although I don't know if they were ever unpopular. I know here in the US we go back and forth between the, the height of the jeans and the looseness, but I think the Europeans are sticking to the consistency of tight and flattering. Women of all ages were wearing the tight jeans, and I only saw a couple of bell bottoms, nothing loose or baggy. I don't think they find them feminine or attractive because baggy hides your body in them. And in Europe, especially when you're young, you care about fitting in tight clothes that show your figure. The slight alteration from the skinnier were the straight jeans that are cropped about 1 to 2 inches above the ankles. Yes, with short socks and white sneakers, you could clearly see 2 inches of skin while walking. I do not understand how they were not cold. I was freezing. Tops did not stand out to me. They seemed simple and on the looser side. Can't say that I saw too many because people were mostly bundled up. In the museums, I did see a lot of colors: purple, pink, red, and collar. Think tight black leather leggings and a looser oversized red button shirt. Outerwear. Ladies, they did not disappoint. Thigh or knee-length wool or wool blend coats were the most popular ones. I was very pleasantly surprised to see how elegant and fashionable they looked. I was expecting a more casual, sporty look, but no. I have not seen, that shell jacket anywhere. Maybe 2 throughout, in the whole 5 days. Leather coats and jackets are popular and being worn by men and women. I must say this was my favorite part of the outfits I've seen because a coat can make or break the entire look, and it's such an easy piece that you can shop for even if you don't buy 100% wool. There are plenty of affordable alternatives. Fur trimming was also a nice addition I've seen around the collar and the sleeves. I've seen some colorful versions as well, and of course the white or light color coats always stand out in a crowd against the contrasting black or brown shades. Speaking of fur, it was everywhere. Top to bottom fur jackets and coats. The young ladies wore the faux fur and the older ladies the real fur, which looked so exquisite. You can tell by the detail which one is real. The real one is usually shorter length because it's less fabric, and I can only imagine how expensive it is. The faux fur looks like a plushy teddy bear. And what I really liked about the seasoned ladies, which really impressed me, was how stylish and taken care of they carry themselves, with makeup and rouge, discreet liner, and mascara. Which brings me to my next topic, makeup. It was such a nice breath of fresh air to see French women really live up to the reputation of minimal makeup, in the sense that they probably use 2-3 items: the crayon for a thin liner at the bottom of the top lashes, mascara, and red lipstick, if any. That's it. And I'm not saying women don't wear more makeup, but the majority only wore mascara, and it looks so good because the cold and the wind, dried my skin. My cheeks were rosy the entire time from the cold. And when I walked into a restaurant, I was blushed, and the simple mascara looks so good. There was no need for more. Head coverage. Well, we have the famous French beret that you see me wearing. I feel like this is such an homage we bring to the French culture by wearing it there. I've seen it worn a lot in touristic places, which makes me think that we buy it there to be part of the scenery. Older women were wearing them as well, which aren't necessarily following trends, which leads me to believe that French women do indeed wear them. There were also different slight alterations from this style with more coverage and lining. The one that I have is 100% wool, and they range between 4 to 15 euros. It was so much more fun to try and wear on the street. It's such a simple, stylish, and colorful addition to any look. Instantly lifts the mood of the outfit. And while you might feel strange at first to add a red plate looking hat to your head, the moment you walk outside, there are plenty of women who wear them, and that's the beauty of walking around Paris. Fashion statements are found on almost every person that walks by you. Men and women care about how they look, are not try to dress stylishly, and wear their pieces proudly. It felt natural to have good-looking shoes and designer bags. Now let's talk about purses and bags. I haven't seen these many designer bags since I've walked around inside the mall. My goodness, they were everywhere. The most common one was Louis Vuitton. Of course, you can recognize the famous logo bag, but I've also been introduced to sneakers. I haven't seen actual sneakers being worn by men. Then we had the Gucci, which is of course recognizable by the red and green color combination. Now I was able to talk to a few locals on this topic, and I asked how come so many people afford them here, because well, the cost of living is lower, but the price are the same. So I was told there's a lot of contraband and imitation, which is not a surprise. I say it because sometimes the outfit didn't make sense. A woman would wear the Louis Vuitton tote bag and then a sloppy outfit. Other times in a hotel, for example, I saw men wear casual jeans and white sweater with matching LV sneakers. They look so stylish, and I saw quite a few people wear this brand shoes in the hotel, which makes me think that given the price, at least it was consistent. By the way, it was a 4-star newer hotel we stayed at. We'll tell you more about it in my next Paris video. I've also seen a few beautiful leather bags, laptop bags, old school suitcases that looked like, the used leather. I haven't seen those since I was a child. It was such a beautiful road down memory lane. I also appreciate how stylish men were dressing. Ladies, if you're looking for a man that dress well and care about how they look and comes naturally to them without feeling arrogant, it's a good place to be. That, and of course the French accent. I mean, what else is there left? I should have taken pictures of men as well. I didn't think about it till the end, but they also wore combat boots. The more professional looking ones were leather shoes. Here we call them, the dress shoes. In Europe, they're just the leather shoes. I've also seen leather boat shoes and tapered pants that end slightly above the ankles. Colorful dress socks and peacock, thigh length coats. I've also seen men wear Gucci jeans and shoes, bags. I mean, wow. Some of these outfits were really impressive. Perhaps I'm not used to seeing men dress so well here in the States. Popular brands for coats I've seen on the expensive side, I recognized Canada Goose, which is in the high $1,000 range last time I checked. I also saw the North Face, which we have here, and Patagonia. I hope I was able to give you a real sense of fashion and style that's being worn right now on the streets of Paris by women and men. Click the like button, subscribe for more weekly content, and you want to check out my next video, which talks about the 5 black dresses every woman should own. I'll see you there.